When I buy a video game, I do one of two things. The first thing I do is search for a game review. Seems pretty reasonable, right? If you thought that, you'd be wrong in saying Cyberpunk 2077 is a holy masterpiece. The other thing I do is after that, I search for another review, compare that to the other one I searched, and then find another review, compare that to the other two, and then I think you get the point. And the second thing I do is not buy the game at all because I'm broke and don't have enough money. But once in a blue moon, I buy a game I regret buying, hence the title. So I get up 3 games I regret the most, and you can see why I regret buying these games. Also guys, it's my opinion. So if you like the game, that's no problem. Just sit back and enjoy.
London.
First of all, we have Watch Dogs Legion. Now, this was an interesting one. It's one of the only games I did not search up a review on, and I deeply regret that. When buying the game, I thought a GTA 5 copy that featured hacking and a recruitment system would be a damn good time. Well, first, no, and second of all, the story is so hollow and repetitive, almost no one would enjoy the story. Next is a recruitment system. It's a bit of a gimmick. It messes up the story since there's no real protagonist to keep the game together. And sure, picking up civilians for your rebel team sounds good on paper, but when you give it to Ubisoft, the adopted son of EA, the job to do it, yeah, it's ruined. The hacking was okay, but it was pretty underwhelming in terms of the other 2 games in the series. The best part of the game is probably the open world, which is not as bad as terms of the good atmosphere to play in, just all the areas seemed a little too similar. I paid $20 for the standard game, and for me, that's a lot of money wasted. I could have easily bought GTA 5 with that. And I still haven't bought GTA 5. The next game on this list is probably gonna be Fallout 4. This time I did check the reviews and found it was pretty well received. So I spent $10 on this version, and gosh, this sucked. Now it's not that bad of a game, it has some really cool elements, but that didn't keep me from getting bored in the first 4 hours. First, I found the story very bland. It didn't get me invested, and that's one of the most important key aspects of a game. If your game doesn't hook me in the first 3 to 4 hours, it will turn out to be boring for the viewer. The open world is again the best part of the game. This time it's actually good. It has some really cool things and the locations are cool as hell. Sure, it's a bit cluttered, but the open world could keep me exploring for hours and hours. Why didn't I not do that? Well, the gameplay. The gameplay is very repetitive, to the point where it's just inches away from beating Call of Duty Vanguard. The gunplay is mediocre at best, and they say this is an RPG game, even though it's just a watered down version of a first-person shooter. I do plan on pushing myself to play it again since I have it on PS5, but I don't think I'll do that for like the next couple of months or years. Lastly, the most controversial of this list, Undertale. Now, before all your fandom kids aim at me with every sort of toxicity you got, hear me out. It isn't a bad game. It's not horribly bad, but some parts of the game really didn't stick with me. The story has 193 endings, which is a lot for a game, but the story is not the best. There's some cool moments, but same with the other games on this list, it didn't hook me anytime soon. I found the story really bad for a video game, and if they made it into a book, it would be much better. The gameplay is pretty repetitive. It's simple, and you have a ball which you're supposed to dodge attacks with. I personally find it really boring, and it's frustrating when you have no sense prior of what a boss fight will give you. It will give you something you've never learned prior to the game, which is just really stupid. It's like a teacher giving you something on a test they have never learned about prior. Except my teacher, she's cool actually. But it's the exact same thing. But what saves the game from being horrible is the music. This will hands down be my most favorite video game soundtracks of all time. Megalovania is a cinematic masterpiece, and Hopes of Dreams is just amazing. You know, good job, Toby Fox.